What's going on, knuckleheads? Welcome to the Fighters Rep. It's been a while since I've been on, and I want to apologize to you guys. I've just been so busy with the actual kickboxing promotion that we've kind of gone away a little bit from talking about the fights. But we're back in a major way. We're going to be going live a couple times a week. We're going to be talking a lot about the fights, and I'm excited to have you guys join me. And what I wanted to talk about today, obviously, this is a post-fight like we typically do Saturday nights after the big fights, especially as it relates to boxing, is Ryan Garcia versus Javier Fortuna. And listen, guys, this fight was very exciting. Ryan Garcia, he's the kind of fighter where, and they mentioned it during the broadcast, where you're just waiting for something crazy to happen, right? And it was almost as if things started to get a little bit quiet when you said to yourself, oh, he's about to do something crazy right now. And then he landed a superb left hook to the body that kind of started the unraveling of Javier Fortuna. I have a lot of thoughts about this fight. First and foremost, with regards to Ryan Garcia. Am I impressed with Ryan Garcia? I am absolutely impressed with Ryan Garcia, especially with the way he was talking and with the way people were talking about him regarding boxing, right? It was almost as if people thought that Ryan Garcia was no longer going to be boxing anymore. He had kind of been suffering some sort of mental health issues and was going to move away from the sport. You didn't expect somebody so sharp, so crisp in his own words, coming back into the ring with a new coach, right? He's now with Goosen instead of Reynoso and Canelo's team. So you didn't really know what to expect, but he looked fantastic in there, man. At first, I just want to be honest with you guys. What was rolling through my head at first in watching the fight was the boxing, right? Because that's the first thing I looked at was the boxing. I said to myself, he carries himself. He's a little bit awkward. He kind of like shuffles forward but it works for him, right? It works for him. Just his boxing footwork is a little bit unorthodox for me. It looks like he's kind of like shuffling, but he understands his distance very well. He's super fast. He's got great reflexes and just knows what he's doing. So, Fortuna in this fight for me, I mean, he was just never really in the fight. He landed a couple good shots that I can remember, but nothing that really, buzzed Ryan or had him in trouble or anything, of the sorts. Garcia was in control this whole time. That left hand to the body, I think it was in the fourth round, absolutely beautiful. I thought it was over, because typically those liver shots, they take their toll, man. They take their toll. So I thought it was over. Big shout out to Fortuna. He's a tough customer. He got back up and continued fighting, survived the round, started to employ some like Roy Jones type tactics, right? Where, he wasn't really putting his hands up anymore because he didn't want to get hit to the body. So he kind of adjusted. He put his hands low so he could protect his body. He started moving around, using head movement, trying to lure Garcia into, fighting a different fight and aiming for the head instead of the body. Smart veteran move. He also spit out his mouthpiece, right? Which I think, excuse me, guys, but which I think, if you're spitting out your mouthpiece, a point should be deducted, especially if it's on purpose. And that looked really on purpose, right? So anyway, he did that to get himself more time. They washed out the mouth guard. The referee walked him to the corner. They put it back in. He survives the round. Next couple rounds happen. He gets dropped again with a nasty left hook where, he's dipping over to his right, so to Ryan Garcia's left, and gets met with that left hook. And it landed right here, I guess on the edge of the orbital, near the temple, somewhere in the middle there. And right away you saw it puff up. One thing I noticed after the fact was his eye was red. It was like bloodshot red on the side where he got hit. At least half of it was like reddened pretty badly. So I wonder if he, suffered some sort of, maybe a slight fracture on that side of the face. Obviously tough guy to get up from that. You could tell he was in pain when he went down. He looked like he was in pain. He was grimacing in pain. He got back up. He continued to fight. But, it was essentially the impact of Ryan's fast hands, right? He's a kid who he already hits hard, combined with Fortuna kind of leaning over to the left. And, it's the combined velocity of the two things that I'm sure amplified the power of the shot that landed. So he gets back up, toils away at it some more, tries to move around, doing everything in his power, right, to kind of survive, to kind of continue so he can maybe find a chance to do something. But he just could not get anything going. And then the end of the night came with Ryan Garcia landing a 1-2-3. I mean, the kind of combo that you're going to be throwing when you join a kickboxing gym, when you join a boxing gym, whatever it is, just bang, 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 just right on the money. The third shot hitting that temple again. Fortuna said, you know what? To hell with this. It's not worth it. I had a good career, but I am not getting up against this young buck. And Ryan Garcia, you guys, I mean, listen, again, you could say what you want about him. He looked incredible in this fight, and do I think Fortuna was his toughest fight? I don't. I think Luke Campbell was probably his toughest opponent. He said he felt sharper tonight. Maybe that's why he looked better. But, I just think he looked better because Fortuna is 33 and looked 33 to me. I'm not taking anything away from Garcia. I'm just saying Fortuna just doesn't look as good as Luke Campbell did in the fight. So, I wouldn't say he's the best. I'd say he's probably the second best opponent Ryan Garcia's had. And afterwards in the post-fight, he's talking about Tank Davis. He wants to fight Tank Davis. Devin Haney is also in the conversation. And I think the Tank Davis is a great fight. I mean, he says he thinks he could beat these guys. I do think he could beat Tank Davis. I really do think so. I think that would be a very, very good, very close fight. And the reason I think it would be a great fight is because, as spectacular as Tank Davis has looked as well, he just hasn't fought anyone, and the only guy that Tank Davis did fight, in my opinion, that was a very tough guy was Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And I still stand on the fact that I thought he lost that fight. I thought Pitbull Cruz won that fight. I actually argued with somebody on Facebook about that today because I thought Cruz landed the more significant strikes. That said, of the bunch, and he also mentioned Teofimo, but of these bunch, I still think at this point right now, Devin Haney is the man. I think Devin Haney is the man among all these guys. I think he has the best boxing. I would say Ryan Garcia, probably second place, so I would say maybe Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, probably second place after today's performance. I would put Tank close to him, maybe right under him, just because I want to see more on Tank's resume. One fight against Pitbull Cruz where you arguably lost. I'm not really into it. Garcia's going out here finishing these guys. And then, maybe Cambosos and Teofimo. Teofimo, we got to see, there was this whole thing about his chest and he can't breathe and we don't know what's going on with him. We have no idea. But, if it's true, if that really affected the way he was fighting, he was, listen, before he lost that fight, he was one of the most important guys in the division. He was the man, right? So we got to see where he's at. We got to see where Lomachenko's at. I mean, these are all fantastic fights that should be made. But as you guys know, boxing is not the best sport when it comes to matching the best against the best. Unlike FightersRep Kickboxing, where we put the best fighters against the best. So at this time, because I said that, I'm going to ask you guys to not only subscribe to this channel and like this video and comment, let me know what you think, but also join the channel, help me continue build the promotion. It's just $9.99 a month, and you'll help me build the only exclusively kickboxing promotion out here in California, one of the few in the United States. And FightersRep 15 is going down, guys, September 3rd. It's just like a month and a half, just over a month and a half away, and it is going to be absolutely lit. We've already got like 19 fights on the card, and I'm talking absolute beasts. So you guys definitely want to check that out. Again, subscribe to the channel. So we do have some people in here. Appreciate you guys being in here. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I greatly appreciate it. We got Dan the Mag says, Ryan seems to have more power than Tank. And then we have SM in here who says Tank is going to destroy Ryan. And I'm feeling the Scarface. Is that Scarface or is that the Godfather? I'm not sure. Profile picture. Salud, by the way. Says Tank is going to destroy Ryan. You know, I don't think like either guy, you know, at this point, I can't see either guy like completely destroying the other guy. I mean, I think they're both finishers. I think they're both finishers. I really like, you know, how explosive they are. But I do feel like, and the reason I put Devin Haney above both of them, right? I do feel like Devin doesn't rely so much on his explosiveness and his athleticism the way that you know, the way that these other guys do. I mean, I feel like Ryan Garcia, especially, like you look at those Instagram videos, right? They're fun, but it's like, it's, it's like, dude, he's like always spazzing out on the flex bag, you know, and then Tank Davis. I mean, every fight Tank Davis has, like, I don't know. I thought that whole Rolly Romero fight, he was basically like losing. I thought the same thing with Leo Santa Cruz. You know, he almost reminds me of like a little Deontay Wilder, right? Where he's losing, and then he lands this bomb, you know, and at some point he's going to go up against someone, Devin Haney, who, you know, is so composed and has a good enough chin and has a good enough defense to handle it, you know, and putting him in there with a Ryan Garcia for me is just, you know, it's like putting fuel, you know, jet fuel and fire together, man. I mean, there's going to be an explosive ending, but I wouldn't say one guy destroys the other. It could be the case now that literally one does destroy the other. It could end in a knockout. But I mean, like, I don't see one having like so much more than the other guy. I think it's relatively even at this point. You know, you got to think about the fact that Garcia has the reach advantage against Tank. Speed is about even, power is about even, resume goes to Garcia, right? But, you know, Tank's beating everyone they've put in front of him at the same time. So you can't really, you know, knock the guy. You know, you can't really knock the guy, but you can knock the way they've moved him. That being said, Garcia's being moved by De La Hoya. It just, I don't know, man. It's just what De La Hoya, I mean, I wish him well. You know, as a fellow promoter, I wish him well. But it's like he's so cringe, right? Am I right? Like he's so cringe at this point. You see the way he looks, the way he dresses, and you just have it in the back of your mind that, you know, he was wearing stockings and dressing and leggings. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just the guy's a little cringe, you know, and then he says so many goofy things, and I thought he really lost that battle versus Dana White. I'll be honest with you guys. I thought Dana White made him look like a total liar, for lack of a better word. So I don't know. He's kind of cringe for me. But you know, at the end of the day, I hope we get all these fights. The real Ricky Tan says, I don't care about belts. Gets introduced as the former interim champion. I don't think I've ever heard that. Pretty funny, to be honest. The former interim champion. Oh man, that's, you know, that's boxing for you guys. That's boxing for you guys. Dan the Mag says, speed kills. Tank is overrated. He's almost 30 with a weak resume. He is, excuse me, his resume is weak, in my opinion. But he does have speed. Tank is always behind the scorecards. Facts. That's true. And then Ryan is 22, Tank is 27, and you have them even. Garcia got size, definitely can take advantage of the outside. Yeah, you know, I have them even despite the disparity in ages. Ryan 22. Wow. Wow. Is Ryan really 22? Let's look that up, because if Ryan Garcia is really 22, he's 23 now. So he was I don't think they did their math too good here. Yeah, he's 23. He's going to be 24 in August. So, yeah, he's a baby. I don't think they did their math too good. He's a baby. Yeah, he's 23. He's gonna Hold be on, give me a second here. Yeah, he's a baby. So, that's pretty incredible. Let's see how old Tank Davis is, man. Tank Davis, 27. Yeah. So, 3 years apart, 4 years apart. No big deal. No big deal. But I see your point. He's got a lot of room to improve. Sergio Mora was saying how he thought he would favor Tank. I don't see it. I don't see what Tank has that, I would favor Tank in a fight versus Ryan Garcia. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. But I just don't see it. If you told me Devin Haney, I would say, yeah, the guy's got skills. He can fight from the outside. He can fight from the inside. He knows what he's doing. A couple fights ago, I wouldn't have said that about Haney, though. I thought Kambosos was going to beat him. Kambosos fought a shit fight in that fight. But, I do think Haney is the man as of right now. And if you know this channel, if you've been here in the past, Sergio said 50-50 after. That's funny. That's funny. But, if you know this channel, if you've seen me in the past, look, I'm a kickboxing promoter. I've been doing it since 2019, the striking stuff. Lost a year and a half to COVID, but we've been very, thank goodness we've been very successful as a kickboxing promotion. And I've had the ability to sit there and watch so many fights. I've been in the fight game promoting. Actually, I did MMA shows since the end of 2017. So it's been a while. I've worked on a lot of shows and helped a lot of shows. And I've always thought, skills pay the bills, when it comes to striking, boxing, MMA, whatever it is. Skills pay the bills, So for me, Devin Haney's always going to be ahead of these guys. And that's until Shakur Stevenson comes up and decides he wants to fight all these guys, because Shakur Stevenson, for me, is the guy, whose skills pay the bills, So that's kind of where my mentality is. I mean, if the guy is more skilled, I'm going to go for him, unless the other guy has some attributes that are just completely, off the charts enough to kind of overcome those skills. So let's see here. Haney and Ryan fought in the amateurs 4 times. Is that right? I mean, I thought I heard 6. I thought I heard they split them. I don't know. But, the amateurs is a different game, guys. The amateurs is a different game. And I know that because funnily enough, we do pro-am fights here at FightersRep. We do pro-am kickboxing. And for the most part, this next show is going to be amateurs, but experienced amateurs. So it's going to be crazy. I mean, think college football of the fight game is the way you want to look at it. Our amateurs don't all have to wear headgear like they kind of used to in boxing, which they don't anymore in the Olympics. But anyway, my point is that, the amateurs is different. It's a different game, especially different from, I think, when Haney and Ryan fought in the amateurs. And, the style doesn't always transition. I want to say that I would love to see a Haney versus Garcia fight. I think it would be a very good fight. I think they're pretty even. Again, I would pick Haney because I think his boxing skills are a little better. Ryan, I think Ryan has more power. Ryan has more speed and power, but Haney has good speed too. I just think his boxing skills are his boxing skills are on another level right now, and I think Ryan Garcia's got some skills too. But again, maybe I haven't seen from Ryan Garcia what I've seen from Devin Haney, because he relies on his instincts so much. He's always faster than the next guy, and he doesn't have to, go into that boxing mode, maybe, or maybe he just, like Roy Jones, would just rather rely on his speed and reflexes and stuff like that. I mean, I think about Roy Jones in his first fight with Bernard Hopkins versus his second. Why'd he lose that second one? I think it's because the speed and the reflexes kind of slowed down, he relied on them a lot. And then, Bernard Hopkins was able to make up ground with his skill in that second fight. Let me see. Hello from Dominicano Republic. See, have a big lose from Garcia. Raul Castillo, what's up, brother? Appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, guys, subscribe to the channel, man. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, join the channel, just $9.99 a month. You get to watch our fights live if you join the channel. But, and also get your merchandise, the link below. That'll help me build. Listen, anything you guys spend here, any donations you do in the super chat, it just gets reinvested right back into the promotion, right back into these young fighters. That's what I do. I actually, it's like ridiculous. I've like hardly ever taken any money for myself out of the business, which, my significant other thinks I'm an idiot for that, but I'm reinvesting it. And if you guys go back and look at the footage, you'll see what I mean. I think our production quality skyrocketed, and we had the cameras and the lights and the smoke at the last event. It was absolutely beautiful, thanks to the fans and people like you guys. So, but Raul, I didn't understand. If you want to say it in Spanish, I do speak Spanish. I do read Spanish. I do understand Spanish. So if you want to put it in Spanish, what you were trying to say, I'm happy to read that for you. But you said hello from the Dominican Republic. See, have a big loose from Garcia. I don't know what you mean by that. Again, si quiere, escríbelo en español y yo lo puedo leer en español porque no te entiendo, Raúl. So thank you again, guys, for being here. If it's your first time here, again, subscribe. And tell me what you think. If you're watching this on the replay, tell me what you thought of this fight between Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna. I thought it would go a little longer. If I'm being honest. Ryan Garcia on press beat today. I thought it would go a little longer based on his last fight against that gentleman. I think it was Emmanuel Tago or something like that. I thought the fight would go a little longer. He looked very sharp today. He looked very good. And again, I come away moving Ryan up in the 140-pound division. I mean, I guess he's not going back to 135. So I come away from this fight moving him up in the 140-pound division, and I put him over Tank. I just like his resume better than Tank's. And they're showing me the same thing. The only thing is I just feel like Ryan is not losing the fight until knocking the guy out. Tank is losing a lot of these fights until knocking the guys out. And then Devin Haney's just the best for me. He's just the best one. And he was there. And I'm sure he'd love a piece of that action. But we'll see. Gracias, hermano. Te decía que perdimos una gran pelea hoy contra Ryan. Creo que podríamos hacerlo mejor. Okay, so Raul Castillo, I guess, is, he's saying, thank you, brother. I'm saying that we lost a great fight today against Ryan. I think we could have done better, and, Raul, Fortuna looked, he looked like the older guy today. Let's be honest. He had a good career, much respect to him, much love to him, much love to the Dominicanos. We love you guys. But, for me, he looked like in the body, right? And in the way he was moving, and he just looked like the older guy. And some guys, it's funny because some guys go into their prime, right, at about early 30s, mid 30s. Hell, in the heavyweight division, I've said it in the past, heavyweights seem to go into their prime in the dang late 30s into the 40s. But, for me, Fortuna looked like he was a little bit slow, a little bit softer in the body. Right? You couldn't compare his, physique to Ryan Garcia today. I mean, it just looked like a total different guy. Claudio Morreal says, what's up, man? How you been? Who do you think wins, Tank or Garcia? What's up, Claudio? Appreciate you joining, man. Damn, brother, it's been a minute since I seen it caught alive. Yeah, man. Hey, we're back, man. We're back. I figured let me explain to you guys something. You know, the channel was growing, growing, growing. We got past 9,000 and then, or past 8,000 or something like that. And then with COVID kind of going away and me being able to promote fights again here in California, because they took a whole year and a half away from us here with this lockdown stuff. So with us being able to promote fights again, you know, I got real busy promoting the fights. You know, as you guys can see, if you've been checking out the channel, this thing's skyrocketing. And I just haven't really had time to, you know, talk about just random stuff in the fight game, do videos on boxing like we used to. But now the time's there. You know, we've created a sort of efficient assembly line system for the promotion. And I'm going to have time to do this with you guys and continue to grow the channel. I want us to get to 10,000 subscribers, man. We're close. We're at 9,000 something. So, you know, that's why you guys haven't seen me in a minute, man. I have been grinding, and definitely, like I've told everyone here, anything you donate, any merch you buy, excuse me, in the link below, if you join the channel, you know, all that money will go right back into me, you know, building the promotion. And, you know, you guys help me build it. I mean, that's what it's about. So it's much appreciated. So who do I think wins between Tank or Garcia? I said it, you know, I said it earlier, you know, I think it's going to be a close fight. I don't know who wins. I mean, if you put a gun to my head right now, if you put a gun to my head, it's going to sound bad. I would say Garcia, man, just because they're the same. They're kind of the same thing. It's going to be like whoever lands first. And I like Garcia because he's longer. He's taller. They're both fast. They're both explosive. I would rate them both a 10 right on the back of the Marvel card. They'd both be a 10 for speed and for power and explosiveness. But I just think the length, if Ryan Garcia uses his length at all, that's an advantage. He's also got a better resume, in my opinion, having fought Luke Campbell and Fortuna now. That's better than the people Tank Davis has fought. And to be frank, I thought Davis lost to, what's his name? We just said it. I thought he lost to Pitbull Cruz. And I also, you know, I thought he was losing to Leo Santa Cruz until he knocked him out. And Leo Santa Cruz, let's be honest, he's a little guy. So that's where I'm at with that. Who do you guys think? I mean, and just to cap that off, by the way, again, and I said it already earlier in the live stream, I think Haney is the man. I think Haney is the man in and around those divisions until Shakur Stevenson comes up and decides he wants to be the man. I'm curious, though. I'm curious. You know, what does Lomachenko look like now? Is he done? You know, what does Teofimo look like when he comes back? You know, you don't know. You know, you don't know until you see these guys. But anyway, knuckleheads, like, comment, subscribe, join the channel, get your merch below. Go rock the FightersRep shirt. Look at this. This thing's clean. It makes me look thinner, too, because it's black. You know, I did gain the COVID-15. I don't know if you, or the COVID-19, rather. I don't know if you guys gained the COVID-19. You can probably see it on my double chin. But I gained the COVID-19. I'm going to have to hit it hard, get back to it. But, yeah. Get your FightersRep merch below. Join the channel. Listen, I tell people to join the channel because that's the only way they could watch our fights live on September 3rd. And for all our events, it's the only way to watch live. Unless you want to come to California, which I think is the best thing you can do, and watch our fights live. We're actually at the Commerce Casino now, you guys. It's beautiful. It's a venue that seats almost 2,000 people. It's attached. You know, there's a hotel. It's the Commerce Casino and hotel. So, you know, you guys could come, man, buy, you know, get you a room for the night, watch some amazing striking bouts. If you guys haven't seen our rule set, it is the best. And I'm dealing with the best fighters pretty much in the world because, you know, a lot of the best fighters in the world train here in California. So I'm dealing with like some of the best camps in the world, man. You guys got to see how talented these kickboxers are that we've got. And, you know, you can see the highlights. You know, if you go through this channel, you can see the highlights, see what I'm talking about. But yeah, come through, get yourself a hotel room for a couple of nights, hang out with me. Man, I'll buy you a beer. You know, we'll sit around, we'll watch the fights, and you guys won't regret it, man. You'll get your money's worth. We had a belly dancer at the intermission last time. This time we're going to have an opening ceremony. We do it up big. We do it up sexy, and it does take a lot of money. So your help is appreciated. But anyway, guys, I am getting off. I've had a long day. We are going live tomorrow with Coach Jason Caldwell, who's the brother and coach of our super middleweight champion who was crowned at Fighters Rep 14, Joshua Caldwell. I want you guys to definitely tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific and hang out with me and Coach Jason and get to know about, what he did to create such a fantastic fighter in Joshua Caldwell. You can watch Joshua's fight at Fighters Rep 15 right here on the channel for free. I do release every fight for free, days after the live stream so that everybody, can be exposed to these fights. So these fighters can show it off to their friends and continue to build the brand and their brand at the same time. But knuckleheads, thank you for joining me. We're going to do this more often after the big fights. We're going to go live at least once a week besides that. And we're going to do constant videos, and we're going to hang out. We're going to be the most educated fight channel on YouTube. This is the greatest striking show on the planet. If you come to watch Fighters Rep, you'll know what I mean. And you guys have a great night, man. We'll talk to you guys soon.